what is roughing the passer? Breathing on him, looking at him, with intent to kill. You knew you were going to hurt him if you'd have hit him. That's a flag. So if you're a defensive end, you don't want to be fined $50,000. Right. What do you do? If he's about to throw it, do you hit him or do you run the risk of being fined $50,000? I mean, I see that give and take often. That guy could have laid him out. And then the quarterbacks over time know that they got a little extra cushion because of it. And that goes a long way if you know that you're going to have an extra tick or you may not get hit hard. So that element of fear is not as great as it once was.
For the longest time, I thought that was like, that little thought that's inside the head of a pass rusher. I'm thinking that's like the byproduct of what the NFL is after here. No, like that is the goal. The goal, I think, through this all is for that pass rusher to pull up and for that quarterback to believe they've got a split second more time to make that throw. So we have more points, more yards, all of that. And it's going to help gambling and fantasy football. And I'm just laughing because I'm thinking like, yeah, in your day, I'm sure John Randall and Warren Sapp, they're about to hit you and they're thinking, maybe I take it easy on Brett this time. Maybe you just pull up.
Yeah, there would have definitely been a sense of, I guess the best way to put it is it was always looming in the back of my head that I didn't have enough time to throw the ball when I played those guys. And so it almost was every decision in footwork had a little bit of panic in it. And that was part of football. How you handled that. Did you rush the throw just enough that it was right before the receiver turned? And had you just held it a little bit longer, it would have been a completion or a big play or a touchdown. That was part of the game. I'm not saying that it's completely gone, but I think that's a huge factor in today's success offensively.
What's the most vicious hit that you've ever taken? I don't think I've asked you that.
We were playing Tampa Bay in Green Bay, and they had drafted a guy in the first round called Reagan Upshaw. I don't think now that particular play that he hit me, I scrambled to the right. He was the backside defensive end, so he was to my left. I scrambled to the right in front of our bench. And not uncommon for me, like a guy was coming, and I don't remember who it was, but there was a guy coming right in front of me, coming to hit me, and I olayed him. And when I did, I kind of backed up, getting ready to make a throw, and I was like this, and he hit me full speed. It had to be a defensive end's just dream. This is too good to be true. And he hit me right square in the back. And I landed right by Andy Reid and Matt Hasselbeck. And I always tell a story. I got hit so hard that I hit the turf and bounced up. And I'm sure I'm embellishing. But I didn't have time for it to hurt because I bounced up off the turf and started jawing with him. But I was in la-la land. Literally. And Andy likes to tell the story. He's like, man, he got up jawing, but I didn't even see him hit the ground. He got up so fast. I'm like, it's because he hit me so hard. But
what did it feel like? Like, really, what does that pain feel like?
It's one of those that usually had a sixth sense. I could feel a guy behind me. And I dodged those like the last second. So I wasn't expecting anything. So it was one of those that when the dust settled and I'm walking back to the huddle is when you realize that he hit me right square in the back in an awkward position. So I'm getting ready to throw. And I go like this. And the next day I could hardly, just getting out of bed. I looked like I had rigor mortis. That was a tough one.
and then you played on, right? There was no,
I think I
maybe take
probably
it.
played 200 more games in a row.
That would have been smack dab in the middle at some point. And
Yeah.
this is where like the owners in the NFL would say, Brett, this is why we're changing the sport. So you don't get hit like that. So, when you're in your 50s and 60s, you're not creaking out of bed in the morning. But what would you tell them then? I mean, because it sounds like you don't like how the sport's changed. And even after you got your ass kicked.
Well,
and
I don't like how it's changed. Yeah, I don't like how it's changed to a certain degree. But I think as much as we just talked about that element of fear that defenses put in your mind, I think the flip side of it is how I play. You bounce up and then you start jawing with the guy. Like there's one mic'd up NFL film still that we were playing Minnesota and I got hit.
Yeah.
Ed McDaniel or somebody hit me right in the chin, and they had me mic'd up saying, "Who hit me? You hit me? I thought you hit harder than that." There's that give and take. Like, man, we can't hurt this guy.
Yeah.
And I got them in my mind. I got them more worried about trying to get me out of the game than focusing on playing the play out and doing their assignment. I want them to get, to get out of their game. And the only way I can do that is to get in their mind that they can't take me out. So there's that give and take. And I'm not saying that there's not that anymore, but there's not as much give as there is take. You know what I'm saying?